This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 1 Say Yes to the Quest. You just hear Chantel just give them lots of money again. And, at this point, you probably have lost count how much money she's been spending on you guys. But it's probably worth it. The 30 gold up front plus everything else, this is probably the best paying job you have done, even before you've been on the job. And
Tenor is just, he is having the time of his life right now. This is shaping up to be the best week of his entire existence.
and
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no,
No, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Kala normally doesn't take with rich, fancy people, but she's like, I could get used to this.
And Chantel, as you are leaving and going to a custom artisan mask shop, she just muses, I will have to use you more often as my personal adventurers. Yes. And she just beams so happily because she's having so much fun.
Oh yeah, you can call on us anytime.
Tenor looks at her and says, "Did we just become best friends?"
I think we have.
Group hug.
Yes, group hug.
Yes.
I think at this point, what Kala's gonna do is she's just gonna grab Tenor in one arm and then Chantel in the other, and just pick them up and hug them that way.
And she just makes an excited squealing noise again, and she just holds on tighter. Best friends forever. Until she realizes that you guys are probably horrible people that kill a lot. Or then she's like, oh, you guys are more useful than I thought. Yeah, so you go to this artisan mask shop. There are many different patterns being shown to you. There's unicorns and somehow a chimera mask where all the faces are on one, but it's really nicely done. Ogres and goblins and probably a few insensitive dragon masks, and everything is a caricature.
Tenor was not aware of this shop before and is losing his mind at this point, just running back and forth looking at all these masks, just like, I could have so many faces.
Well,
I think Kala would just help him, what about this one? Do you like this one? How about this one?
I love them all.
And Chantel just, you really must have them all?
Yes.
She snaps her fingers and looks at the clerk. The clerk gets a just face of dread and impending doom on his face, because literally you have ordered probably at least 50 custom masks. Oh, and I need one for my friend Kala too. Which one would you like?
How about this one? And she kind of just picks up one that's that probably matches the dress. It's not a distinct, it's a Mardi Gras mask.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes, and I need it to fit her face. Once again, Clerk just gets this doom look. And when do you need them by? In 2 days. Complete silence.
In this complete silence, Tenor's like, I was saving these for a special occasion, but I think this might be the chance. And he pulls out a couple of like confetti party poppers and just lights them off.
And
So in this like kind of silent bit of a break, it's like boo, boo.
and Chantel gets really excited and like starts just dancing again. A woman with too much money. That's this is what's happening. So, so she makes a bunch of demands, and she forces the poor clerk to make measurements of both of your faces, which is probably easier for Tinner because you kind
Oh,
of
he'd just give him like older, crappier mask that he had and be like, you could use this as a template.
and he just kind of like picks it up with 2 fingers and holds it out like it's a dead rat basically. Thank you. And you can tell he's like just curling his lips and not enjoying life at the moment.
I mean, it is basically my skin. I can see why you'd act that way. No offense taken, my good sir.
And his face turns from like disgust to just kind of pure horror as he is like, your skin.
He says, yes, and takes off his current face and he says, look. Oh, sorry, I'm forgetting how upsetting that is for some people, and puts it back on.
Yeah, he gets so upset he ends up like collapsing behind the counter, and you just hear retching noises.
Oops.
Kala's gonna try and like help the clerk and like pat him on the back and be like, "Shape up, good man." And she's gonna give him she's gonna try and give him a reassuring smile, but she probably has like really big teeth, and it's like actually kind of terrifying.
Roll for intimidation.
Oh gosh! All right. Oh geez.
You're terrifying.
It's a 20.
This poor clerk.
Oh no!
Is like puking and crying and has like literally a giant order in the next 2 days, and
It was like the worst day of his life.
yeah, congratulations, you guys broke someone.
We're just trying to do business with him.
I was just trying to make him feel better.
This is the point of the game where I ask myself, what are we doing? So
Dress shopping and mask shopping, obviously.
Obviously. Okay. So, Chantel just looks at him. You see her get like the coldest face ever. I need to talk to the master mask maker. Thank you. And he looks up, sees her face, and kind of like a broken marionette, just kind of lifts himself up and goes to the back.
Still covered in vomit.
Still covered in vomit and tears and broken dreams. And you can't believe like just this woman with a command just literally can just raise someone who probably emotionally died just like 2 minutes ago. She's an emotional necromancer. Totally. And you hear a very rushed conversation that gets escalated to rushed yelling, gets escalated to screaming and throwing of objects. And this man, he comes out with a red face and just so angry, and then he sees Chantel and just instantly like gains his composure, and he tries to do his best smile, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't realize it was you. How can I help you?" And
oh yes, I know. My reputation precedes me. Many people in the city know of me, but I'm sure your man has already told you I want all of your masks.
And I'm paying for them. You can see the man's nostril just flare up. He really just wants to throw something at the moment, but he composes himself, sucks in his breath, lets out just a long release of tension. For Chantel, I will make it so. And you can tell that it's taking all of his energy just not to like tear up the counter and start hitting people with it.
Tenor turns to Kala and says, Friend Kala, I've learned 2 important things today. Number 1, this shop exists, and my, is it amazing. And number 2, if you have a lot of the gold ones, you can do whatever you want.
I have learned the same thing, my friend.
And Chantel starts laughing and agrees. I can do anything I want. Chantel's standing there. She's looking proud at herself after the whole with enough gold you can do anything. And she's beaming right now that you guys realize that yes, she can do anything. And she gets the receipt from the master mask maker, and she looks approvingly at it, and she looks at the time again. Well, I think I need to go home. Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, back at the inn over in the mercenary district.
No.
No?
You're my friends now. You will not be going back to that trashy place as long as you're working for me.
Wonderful.
Now,
Where are we going?
did you have any, like, do you ride horses? Do you ride horse?
What's a horse?
Yes, I can ride a horse.
Do you own a horse? Do we need
Do you
to
mean the
retrieve
big
your
dogs?
horse? Well, do you ride? I guess people do ride big dogs. But do you need any animals retrieved from your inn?
Oh no. No,
Oh.
we don't have any animals there.
Oh,
And Kala is gonna turn to Tinner and try to like pantomime what a horse is. She's like, you know, those big things that we saw in the stables. Some of them are brown, some of them
Weird
are
teeth,
black.
right?
Big
Really
teeth,
weird teeth.
big teeth. You know, like tails, long tails.
Oh, I just thought those were very large horses. I mean, dogs.
oh, don't worry. You can see horses at my manor.
That sounds excellent.
And she just nods very proudly, and she steps out onto the street and waves at someone. And there's a cart. Well, not a cart. It's a carriage, all decked out with 7 white, beautiful horses and a cabbie. And just like all this time, apparently he's been following you guys just out of sight. And she thanks the man. Thank you, Idle. I appreciate you being there for me. And he nods, and she, gives him a piece of gold. And she waves you guys in.
Oh, Tenor jumps right up in there. This is even more now. He's on cloud 9 at this point. If he could float, he would be.
And she asks Mr. Idle if all the purchases were in the carriage, and he says yes. And you notice that like literally all the boxes that she's been purchasing throughout the day are on top of this cart, and like you guys have not been carrying anything for most of the day, so it's a little insane to see like all this stuff suddenly up there, and you,
Like,
yeah, like the realization of like over it's probably about 500 gold of products just up there.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Kala's gonna like stand back, look at all the stuff for like a moment, and just like kind of like nod her head a little bit, like surprised that like so much stuff was bought, and also just like in wonder at all the money that was spent before she even like gets onto the carriage.
Yep. And inside the carriage, you thought most of the shops had been like pretty baller, but this, you sit on the plush benches inside there. They are super comfortable. They somehow just fit to your body in the most perfect way. Like all the wood is inlaid with gold. Basically it almost does not move when you're getting into this carriage.
Tenor's immediate thought is wondering if he could have all of his wood replaced with this amazing looking wood. Like, I'd be a real high end boy then.
Just watch. This is going to be the adventures of Tenor upgrading to like, yo, level 20 now. Everything's
High society, man.
And she gets in like super gracefully, sits down the opposite from you, and pulls a little chain, and there's a little bell, and there's almost, you don't feel movement, but suddenly there's movement and trotting of hooves, and it's super luxurious.
Kala is just gonna like settle back into her like Tempur-Pedic cushion or whatever it is.
Comfort is not really something that Tenor ever really worries about, not really being able to feel in the sense that other people feel. So he's just kind of sitting up on the edge of his seat, like staring out the window, looking at everything inside. Just, he is super excited at the moment.
Can you be enchanted?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't see why not.
Alright, both of you give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Oh wait, do I have? Hold up. I think I might be. Oh no, I counter charm. That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of.
I rolled a 7.
Ability to use musical notes where inspired.
Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't. So yeah, I would have to have been performing. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Nah.
Oh, I'm not raging, huh? So I can't. So unfortunately, I'm not raging, so I can be charmed.
Yeah, but this is not a bad thing. Failing this, because it just makes you more relaxed and just happier.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, now Tanner leans back a bit, puts his hands behind his head, and is just kind of like, "This is very nice."
If Tinner had any like rusty rivets or anything that was like a little discomforting for movement, you don't feel it anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably the first time in forever that you've felt this just loose and relaxed and lubricated.
Lubricate.
He pulls out a mask that has the eyes closed on it, and he says, "I'm gonna kick out for a minute. You let me know when we get there." And he puts the sleepy face mask on.
Chantel just looks in fascination. I did not know your kind could sleep.
I'm not sleeping, I'm just pretending. Shh.
Oh, okay. And she giggles a little.
Acting is one of my many talents. Shh.
And she seems like just really charmed by this. So, Kala, tell me about yourself.
I'm wondering if Kala would tell her about herself. but given that she's charmed, she feels very comfortable. I think she will. So she'll tell her life story.
And
She'll tell her everything.
and at the
So
bad parts, she's like, "Oh my," and she's responding very accurately to all the emotions that you are conveying, almost automatically. But anyways, do go on.
oh yeah. So she says, well, I grew up with my family, in the Red Aura tribe. My family, they're pacifists. You know, they don't believe in violence. A lot of them don't eat meat because they don't kill animals. And it just wasn't for me, as you can see. And she kind of like brandishes her great axe a little bit. So, I left. And I got taken in by a group of barbarians in the woods after I left, and they taught me how to wield this thing. So I traveled with them for a while, and then I got a message from my mom that that they were being attacked, but I don't know who by. It looked like it was a hurried note. So unfortunately, by the time I got back, my tribe had been destroyed. So I've been looking to figure out who killed them. And believe me, once I find them, I will destroy them.
That sounds fun.
That's one way to describe it. Yes. Yes.
If you need help, I can help you find information. I'm very well connected.
Oh. Chantel, I might take you up on that offer. Hey, thanks for listening. My name is Faye, and I played Kala Weiss, the Dragonborn Barbarian, on this one shot. You can also find me as Nyx Sinjor, a pixie bard, on my podcast, How the Quest Was Won.
All right. And hey, thank you for having me today. And thanks everybody for listening. I'm Andrew. I played Tenor Timbers, the Warforged Bard, weirdo. And you can catch me as the DM. I'm sorry, somebody just came in the room. You can catch me as the DM of the Beholder's Eye. You can find us on Twitter at beholder_s, and you can find me on Twitter at your DM Andrew.
And as usual, I am Paul. I am the main person with Swordfall. Of course, you're listening to Swordfall, so yeah.
I always feel weird about plugging myself on my own podcast.
Yeah.
I get it, man.
It's like, let me remind you who I am. So, as usual, if you want to find us on social media, we're at Swordfall D&D, the actual letters D&D. We just recently opened our Anchor.fm account, so you can find us on Anchor FM. We're on Google+, we're on Facebook. Yeah, you can find us all around. Do you guys have any social media things you want to plug?
Yeah. So you can find us on Twitter at How the Quest, spelled correctly. You can also find us anywhere you normally find podcasts. So Apple, iTunes, Google, everything. And you can also find us on our website at roguehexagon.com.
Yeah, and for us, the Beholder's Eye is on iTunes, just about every podcasting app there is. And you can also find us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/the Beholder's Eye. Also, when you're looking for us, it is the Beholder's Eye and not just Beholder's Eye. There's another podcast called Beholder's Eye. We're friends with them. They're awesome people, but we get confused all the time.
And thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for playing. This has been so fun, and I've had to mute myself at times to just not bust out laughing. This is this is so fun, and we will hopefully continue this soon? Question mark. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and whatever time of day you are listening to this, I hope you're having a good one. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.